Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es?
Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago. Antonio Gibson with it. He'll get this to the 24, and it's second down.
Es basura.
This defense, Charles, really.
Pero rómpelo en muchos pedazos antes de tirar, porque tenía información personal.
So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll go again with Gibson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. We talked about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
1st and 10. Here's Pickett. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. Room here to run. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh 1st. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Gibson. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Here's Pickett. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at 14. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
And now because of the sack, it's 3rd and goal from the 14. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And this will be play number 10 on this pretty long opening drive. Here's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Pickett. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a team coming out and winning just as your team did the previous week. You talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter.
Come on.
And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And this first play will get them back to the 25, but that's going to be it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Throwing on 2nd down. Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Back to Sermon on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. The Eagles at 2-4 here in the first half of the year. And they come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
From the 29, Hurts. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That'll be complete to Sermon. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Young. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Throwing is Hurts. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Sermon. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Bronco switch.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
They'll run for it. Sermon. And he's in. Flying touchdown. Trey Sermon, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So 2 very different ends to each team's opening drive. One side forced to settle for 3. The other decides, hey, we're going on 4th down, and it pays off with 6 points and an early lead.
And maybe a little insight into the mindset of both teams in this game. One side coming down, as you mentioned, settling for 3. The other side saying, we're not playing magic in this game. We're going for it and trying to get out ahead and make them chase us.
Fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them. But go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Pickett. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 55 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Straight ahead, Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Pickett looking to throw on 2nd down. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers are once again back in front. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
It certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
19 tight.
Here's Hurts to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. They had 2 straight first downs, now a gain of 9 to set up 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Gibson here running out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Gibson, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
He's going to take another shot here, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, 60 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Pickett now on first down. Completes it to Austin. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 95 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Pickett lost it. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Flushed out right. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Miles Boykin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Come on.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And he's got it. inside the 10. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today is track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts going deep here for Watkins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That one complete to the former Seminole, Auden Tate. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, Hurts. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there. It's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
This is caught by Tate. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Here's Gibson to start the drive. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is incomplete, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage. And this could be a 1st down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. And some space. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Pickett to throw on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of.
And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Eagles. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half. That's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And this won't do it. He needed 6. And
then we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They go play action with Hurts. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Kelvin Johnson. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Once more, Gibson. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there. Now it's 3rd down and inches. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Trying with Pickett here on third down. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that is not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll go. It's Gibson. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. That's sort of a prime example, is it not, of selling out defensively on 4th and short?
It certainly is, because what you're doing defensively is saying you're going to stop them right there at the line of scrimmage or make a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Instead, they get just enough of a hole chopped, and you're thin on the 2nd and 3rd levels. Then you become a chaser instead of a tackler. They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Pickett. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the Sticks. Here's a give to Gibson. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And the attempt at 3 will have to come from the other end of the field as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go. On now is the kicker, Chris Boswell. This to make it a 2-score game. Boswell's kick is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Handoff running left is Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On the counter, Gibson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He wants to be about a yard or so short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This one taken just inside the 10.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Let's go now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll drop to throw. This to the outside, it's Sermon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand the field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 173 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Pickett. He'll buy some time right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Off play action, Pickett. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Here's Gibson. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion and a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two, because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Complete to Austin here over the middle. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. Out to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are right back in this football game.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what. And he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage. And they were more than ready for it. The problem now is, if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Hurts will throw. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you, because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Gibson again. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Pickett to throw. A throw left side, caught by the tight end Freiermuth. Pickett to his tight end Freiermuth for the Steeler first. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
Feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think they might have something in this young rookie quarterback because he certainly looked the part.
I have to ask you a question. Are you thinking similar to what I'm thinking? That these rookie quarterbacks